Hello. Hello, one viewer. Thank you for coming. Much appreciated. So this video is not exactly planned, but it's something that has been planning in my head. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I hope you can hear me. If you can't, do let me know. The reason why I'm doing this video is because during this pandemic we are in, or during this period, let me turn this thing off. I think it's too much light. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So during this pandemic or during this period that we are in, I saw a lot of videos about people having issues with friends, and it's just there is a lot of videos of how to find a fake. What was it called? How to discern a friendship, or how to know if your friends are fake or not. Maybe I might even use that terminology if it draws people. But this video pretty much is learn how to discern friendships. Okay, so if you like this video, do like and subscribe as well. It will be really helpful to promote this video to others. So, friendship. Let's talk about friendship. Who are friends? And I'm going to actually go to my blog, which is called Reflecting Thoughts by Talkinson, to speak about what friendship is and how we should discern friendship. Because one of the key things I do not want or hope to advise people is not to look at every friendship to be the same. I think all of us know that. But I think the fact that people are not connecting with you doesn't necessarily mean they're fake friends, especially if you've been friends with people for quite a long time. And maybe it's important to then reflect on you as a person, on how you attract people or what attracted you to these people for them to become fake friends in the first place. Because one of the key things I think leads to people having issues in relationship or making fake friends to say is because the attraction towards these people or what attracted them together was not based on good common grounds. Some of them, those friendships were possibly made out of um, protection. So, for example, where a person who may feel inferior feels that making friends with this group of people or a person who they think to be superior in terms of their strength, knowledge, or whatever would help them to elevate themselves or him or herself or to do something for them. So it's important that we discern our friendship. And like always, as this is a social as well as has a religious aspect to it, I'm always going to start from the best person that I feel has taught us how to build and start a friendship. Okay, so let's look at what I mentioned about friends. So in the first part, I'll talk about friends. Is that I'll start how it started in um, looking at and reflecting the life of Jesus on earth. So, if you do not know who Jesus Christ is, well, he's the reason why we celebrated Christmas and the reason why the world is so happy this time and why Christmas is such a joy. Okay, as Christians, he's a savior of the world who came to redeem the world and save us from all our infirmities and sins by dying on the cross, A, B, C, D, you finish the rest. Okay. But I think one of the things I wanted to reflect upon is how he lived his life on earth. Okay. How do you discern friendship and how should we live our life on earth? So I don't know how I should start, but I will actually first of all reflect on the story of Jesus and how he made his friends and then give reasons, practical reasons why you should be in friendship with others and how to discern friendship. Okay, so I'll start how I started on my blog channel. So it says, one day Jesus was walking by the lake of Gennesaret. I don't know how to pronounce it, but by a lake. And the people were crowding around him and listening to the word of God. He saw at the waterside two boats left by the fishermen who were washing their net. He got into one of the boats, the one that was belonging to Simon, and asked him to pull out a little from the shore. When he sat down in the boat, he taught the people from the boat. When he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, put out uh, your net deep into the water and let go. You will catch fish. And Simon listened and said, Master, we've worked hard all day, all night, and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I'll let down the net. When he had done so, and him and his other friends and also brother Andrew, who we discover was present as well, did what Jesus asked them to do. They caught so many fishes. And then Peter knelt in front of Jesus and said, Go away from me, my Lord. I am a sinful man. For he and all his companions were astonished at the amount of fish that they caught. And there was James and John, the sons of Zebedee, Simon's partners in the fishing realm. Okay. And Jesus said to them, Do not be afraid. From now on, you'll be fishers of men. So they pulled their boats up on the shore and left everything and followed Jesus. Okay. So why do I reflect on this story? Okay. One of the things I understand of this story, okay, is that we meet friends in different places. Okay. It must be the strangest place. You go in fishing, you meet friends. But then what is friendship? Where do we meet friends? We meet friends in different locations. Okay. We also need to know not to call crowd our friend. Because if we reflect on that story, it says that Jesus was teaching the crowd. And then he saw Simon, Peter, and his colleagues fishing. They were busy doing their own thing. They were not actually listening to Jesus. They were not busy with the crowd. They were doing their own thing and they were using the skills and knowledge that they had to fish. However, because they didn't catch anything, they were preparing to leave. But Jesus saw them and went there and made friends with them. Okay. How did he make friends with them? First of all, Jesus attracted his friends by impressing them with his gifts. Okay. But they haven't done anything, they haven't caught anything. But because he said so and it came to fruition, they were impressed. Okay. His gift of miracle or whatever gift that he had, because he solved the problem for them. Okay. In sharing in this excitement and comforting their fears, they became friends. Okay. And the disciples also attracted Jesus' friendship by their gift and skills because Jesus saw what he can use from them. He saw something that he would find very useful. Okay. And that was their ability to fish and persevere, even when they were not catching anything. Okay. Just before they gave hope out, he came in the right moment. Okay. He saw them from afar. He sighted them from afar. He saw their determination, their patience, dedication, even when they didn't catch anything or have a reason to do so. Okay. Jesus taught them how, I would like to think Jesus thought that they had like qualities of people that he wanted, and also for his ministry. So this is because he knew that there will be a time when the disciples will feel dejected, lonely, rejected by people he has asked to fish for him. But by seeing their perseverance, he saw that they definitely can be able to do something, because even though they said, oh, like Peter said, we've done everything we can, but we can't find anything, he still listened and did what Jesus said. So to me, that is quite a good thing telling. So what it taught me there is friends are selected outside of the crowd and can occur unexpectedly. Okay. Jesus did not pick the crowd as his friends. He did not call anyone within that crowd as friends. Okay. Maybe because they were just listeners and not doers. Rather, he walked a little distance and saw the people that he wanted to be friends with and called them friends. Okay. These people were not paying attention to Jesus, as I mentioned. Okay. To me, this tells us that we must not be friends with the crowd, but with those who are focusing on themselves and their duties and calling. That means they are calling an ambition in life. One thing about focusing on yourself and your goal is that it gives you power and strength to attract those of similar yoke. Please, someone preach. By focusing on what you're doing for your own life and your future ambition, you attract people who are equally focusing on something that they are doing. But you can equally attract people who want to just tap into your own blessing without giving back. But if you notice in this friendship relationship, there was a give and take. Okay. People will see that you're not a needy person, they'll respect you, and they'll help you develop in an honest and healthy relationship. Okay. I think this situation, if you make friends in this situation, is a win-win situation because you are not a liability to someone and another person is not a liability to you. That is the things that I feel like if we look at the life of Jesus and how he made his friends, okay, he was not playing. He literally knew the people that he wanted to make friends with and called them friends. Obviously, we saw that he added more people as time went on, and people also added people like they brought their brothers and people to come in. So, what is friendship then? Friendship, in my opinion, is someone that you can identify with, who can go through experiences, life experiences with you, and out of these life experiences, you people can become closer or distant, quite honestly. But that's not a friend if you become distant. But out of the life experience, you become closer and you form a bond of relationship. Okay, you start to care about this person's well-being, their endeavors. You seek for their support and advice. And if you reflect on the story I've just told, this is the thing that happened. Okay, and vice versa. Key is vice versa. You are not a friend. Is not a person that only wants you to take from them, but never allows you to give back. Okay, it's a two-way thing. Okay, so I refer one of the things about knowing finding a good friend is about knowing who you are as a person. You must define your own identity. If you don't know who you are, then how is someone going to be friends with you? It makes no sense. Okay. Sometimes friends are formed out of common grounds. Like I was doing in a youth group, I was doing with young people, and they were like, "Me, some of the people that we got friends just because we are in the same classroom." But that doesn't mean that we actually have anything more deeper, because once they move out of that classroom or move up from that stage of life, they're not friends. So it doesn't mean that they were never friends, but for that particular moment of time, they were friends. But I think one thing that we need to categorize is friends that are there for the long run and the ones that are there for the short run. And I'll talk about that later, which is about categorizing your friends. So when you are looking for identity in friends, I would like to think you'll be looking for common things that makes you people feel common. That could be your physical appearances, ethnicity, culture, or heritage, emotional beliefs and religious beliefs. Okay, ideologies, personality, and other qualities that attract you to them. If you like this video, just click yes. Oh no, just type like at least. Okay, and don't forget to share and subscribe. So that's the things that you need to think about friends. Friends are people who listen, who understand, who can provide opportunity and share experiences with you, emotions, okay, and also happy emotions and also sad emotions. Okay, when something good happens, a friend makes it possible for you to replay or re-examine your experiences. When something disappointing happens, a friend is also there to offer um, comfort or consolence. I think that's the word, and renew your self-esteem. This is some of the things that I found on the net. Okay, the key role a close friend plays is in helping you maintain and emotionally regulate yourself as well. In terms of knowing who you are and supporting you in that area. Okay. Having a good friend helps to build your mental capacity. It helps to build a good mental health. Okay. And it also reduces stress, depression, and poor health. Honestly, I've learned this year people die out of loneliness because they do not have friends. People die out of loneliness because they do not have friends. So stop killing the friendships that you have and start building building the ones that you have. Literally, I see it every time. I'm seeing lots of time during this pandemic. So people say, I know who my friends now, my friend enemy, this and this and that. I'm like, okay, how do we then discern fake friendship? One is by looking at yourself, what attracted you to these people, first of all. If the Bible tells us what fake friends are, any friend that you made out of friendship because you were committing one evil against another person, for example, or people, for example, you mentioned about robbing someone, okay, attacking someone. Like, for example, some people made friends out of bullying someone, quite honestly. So, how in the world are you going to then call that person a friend? And then when things happen to you, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize we are this fake. We did everything together. Honestly, I remember in college, well, let me just talk about me. Some of the people I made friends with, it was actually because we are all in the same place. Like my young people say, it's like we're all in the same place. But that friendship did not last because there was nothing more tangible to that friendship. And I remember some of them were like, okay, this is me. I don't know if I should say this, but some of them were like, I remember one occasion they said to us, oh, let's jump this person. I was thinking to myself, what does jump? I never knew that word before. Jump a person. What does jumping a person mean? I'm not going to say it, but you can type it. To jump a person. What does that? I'm like, what in the world? I was like, no, I'm not going anywhere. So it was just something that they were discussing. And from that moment on, I knew these people were not going to be my friends for long. Okay. We still get on. I still see them. I still say hello. So that's one thing I want to promote here is like, yes, when you have to discern the personalities and the approaches that people take in life. And if it's not good, say bye bye. Kudos. Okay. So you need to know, don't make friendship out of what's it called? Bad intention. Because if you do, then they'll come back on you. I always say it's like it comes back as a boomerang effect. Okay. Okay. So when seeking for friendship, then it's important to consider their qualities, skills that you admire, and how useful it will be for you to develop friendship with them, or with the person. Okay, one of the things that we need friends for. Why do we need friends? Or even reflecting on the life of Jesus, we already saw how he made his first three disciples. Okay, and he went on there to talk about how he made other people met other people. So one of the key things then I will just focus upon on this video, okay, is to look at three distinctive functions of friendship. Three key ones. Okay. The first one is for intimacy. Okay. This is a sense of building an emotional rapport in a way, like a private kind of experience that is not public. Like, when people talk about this is my best friend, the reason why they are best friends most is because there is something very intimate that they have shared with one another. And intimate doesn't mean in a sexual way, but kind of a personal experience that the two connect with one another. Okay. And this experience is emotionally connected. Okay. So they are there with you. Okay. For example, Jesus, through his ministry, shared a lot of intimate things with the disciples. For example, where he spoke in parables to the crowd, he came in and told them exactly what he meant. In their private times, he told them what he meant. Okay. And revealed the hidden truths behind his teachings. Okay. He shared in their fears, in their joy, like the one of walking on the water with Peter. Okay, the persecutions. He told them, like when people were, remember when the Pharisees were talking against the disciples and why they didn't pay tax or fast, he was quick to defend his friends, but quite honestly, in private, he's like, yo, listen, you guys need to do better. Okay. So that's kind of sharing in those experiences, fears, joy. He shared all those things with them. So there is that intimacy that is a functioning relationship. Another one is that a friend is there to be a companion or be a company to you. Okay, what do I mean by company? It's about having someone around you to talk to share experiences with. This can be socially, this could be other ways, okay? Just socially engage with you. Because a friend that cannot show you outside or even publicly declare that you are friends with them, that is not your friend. A friend that cannot say that you're a friend or bring you around to their parents' house or introduce you to their parents, depending on the level of friendship, or even tell your friends about their family about you, but you need to just do a little check on what kind of friendship that you people have, okay, and the level of friendship, because friendship have levels. Even the whole best friend relationship, it has levels to it, okay. There are best friends that you know you can tell this and they will be fine. Then there are ones that you know you cannot tell this, okay. So every friendship needs to be grouped. That's what I'm trying to get here. So they are there to socially engage with you, share interesting moments, okay. They have that benefit to them, and Jesus apostles provided that for him as well. So that's one of the key things you needed to know. Friendship are there to provide be companions or be a company, even if it's going out for shopping. Like literally, that's part of being a company. Okay, now the third one is that they have to be practical. There has to be a practical reason for being friends with this person. Okay. Hello, CA. Hello. There has to be a practical reason for being a friend with a person. You can't wake up and call anyone your friend. I don't understand it. Let me finish this one and then I'll tell you a little bit of my story. Okay. Practical in that it's not just about having people around you. You need people who are useful to you and people who you can be useful towards. A friend that cannot help you with anything is not a friend. A friend that when you are in need, they tell you the reason why they can't help you is not a friend. Okay? They always have a way to get out of things. When you're doing things, they'll just be quiet. And when that happens, they're like, oh, hi, Sarah, how was it? And when I'm looking at this, I'm talking about like things that are very important in your life. Unless, especially if you told them, this is if you told them. Okay? Okay. So either equally, a friend that cannot help you is not a friend. And you should not consider this person as a friend because it's vice versa. One thing is that if you cannot help your friend, then it shows you where they place you in their life. In his or why do you know what? There's something I discovered. Like why am I using his, her, she? I always say there. Why what the listen, I need to improve my vocabulary. Okay, sorry. That's by the way. Why? If he's a friend, his or her life, he can't, if the person doesn't find you useful, that means they are not going to ask you for help for anything. Okay. So maybe you need to then think of yourself in that relationship. What is your purpose? What is the purpose of that friendship? Okay. Friendship have different categories. Some are based on those you know simply because you are doing social things with them. Others are the ones you share problems with and seek support from. Others are people that you become closer, like that become closer than a sibling. As the book of Proverbs tells us that a friend who stick closer to about a friend who sticks closer to a brother. And Jesus' disciples were actually more than a friend to him; they were his family. Okay, so we looked at that. He also said a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Sorry. A friend loves at all times, but a brother, okay, is born for adversity. And why am I clapping for myself? Why am I clapping for myself for that? Because there are levels to this friendship. There's friendship that becomes like you people are brothers, you are sisters, okay, and they go through things with you, through thick and thin. They become a bro. See, a friend, as I mentioned, they love you, I love you, I'll support you. But a brother, a sister, When I mean not just a sister in terms of your biological sister, I'm trying to get you to see the other side of this friendship, is that there is that link or bond that builds you to, okay, that you go through adversities. And this is why I'm first of all reflected on the life of Jesus on earth. Because if you notice, even though Simon Peter was scared as heck, okay, and deserted Jesus in his point of need, there is something I love about Simon. Hi, see, your best friend is the Holy Spirit and angels. Truth be told, that's the only people that can comfort you in times every single time. And true friends go through life with you. That's true. They go through life. But I'll come to there's something I want to also point out here. Simon Peter, even though he was scared as heck, okay, and ran, note one thing, he was present. We were not told any other disciples that ran from each sin to each sin through Jesus' trials in each way to see what is going on. I'm sorry. I don't know why I want to cry about it. The reason why I say that is because this is one of the reasons why I'm very, very much trying to raise this awareness that it's not because a friend was not present for you in your time of need, you have to throw them to the curb. You also need to look at their emotions. Simon Peter was so fearful. He knew what would have happened to him if he was to admit that Jesus is his friend. But note one thing, Jesus was still compassionate, even though he denied him. Although we said it's already written that he's going to do that. But no, he was present in each stage watching. If he could have done anything, I would have thought he would have. But just for the fact, do you know, quite honestly, in most cases, I compare myself to Simon. In most cases, I'm not lying. I love Simon. Like, if any of the disciples I like the most is Simon. And why do I like Peter or Simon Peter? Is because he's always the first one that raises his hand, whether he knows what he's doing or not. It doesn't matter. He always says, "I'll go." Remember, even before he can talk, he said, "I'll build temples." You don't even know what type of temples he's building. Okay, he's always putting himself forward, and he was always there for the disciples, and that's one of the things I felt Jesus saw in him, and hence why he made him the head. He was present through the trials and tribulations. Okay, if you cannot define the purpose of the friend that you had, and this is what, remember in the first instance, he went to Simon and said, "You do this." And it was Simon that listened and the partners followed. So what he saw was Simon's leadership. Okay. And you notice Simon was not dragging leadership with Jesus, although he quite honestly, he had a lot of influence on the disciples himself. Guess who was dragging leadership? It was Judas, the one that didn't even know how things started. Okay. So what am I saying? Is we need to be careful of dropping friends just because they weren't present for us. But equally, we need to be careful of be discerning of these people or their character. What is the reason? To me, I always look at what is your reason for not being present. And even if you tell me your reason, my soul knows what is your reason. Honestly, people can tell me a lot of things, but if my spirit says to me, "Check it, Ogechi, this is a lie," I'm listening to that spirit, because the Holy Spirit, as CA mentioned, has never lied to me. No matter what explanation people give, the Holy Spirit has never and would never lie to me at all. Okay? Sometimes it takes time to understand what is going on, but you are definitely would find out one way or the other. So that's one of the things I mentioned there. So there has to be a practical reason for you being friends with someone. And there were other things that talked about friendship. And we looked at the story of Jonathan and David, how even Jonathan sacrificed for David, and David also paid the same back to him. So, yes, one who is unreliable, friend, soon comes to ruin. but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Exactly. Thank you for making that quote very obvious in the Bible. Okay. I love the book of Proverbs. It tells you a lot about friends. It's like, my child, be wise in all these things. Okay. How then do we know who good friends are? It's through these things I've mentioned. Is first of all, you have to discern what is the reason why I came into friendship with this person. You know, there are some friends that you're friends because someone else is friends with them. It's not because you chose this person to be your friend. It's because you have commonality. Okay. It's like, let's say, for example, your sister is friend to a person. Then before you know it, you become a friend to that person. So for sometimes you may become more closer to that person than your sister. But honestly, you need to remember how that where that friendship started. Because if something start happening, then you'd be like, yeah, you're just friends with the person because so it's really important that we, first of all, discern the purpose of this relationship. Even if you didn't know it from the beginning, as time matures, you need to know the purpose. There is one particular friend of mine that I'm still friends with today. And I know the reason why I'm still friends with that person is one, how we started is quite honestly crazy. Okay. It's crazy how we started with our friendship. But one of the things I still friends with her, or at least can open my mouth and say she's my friend, it doesn't matter the level of bond that you have, but at least if I can say you're my friend, there is a reason why I will say that. Is that as I progressed, like if especially also in my spiritual area, she also progressed. So it became made it that we became closer to one another. Because, for example, things would be happening. She call me and would she can share spiritual experiences with me. Okay, apart from her family, I think I'm also another person that she can actually share spiritual experiences with. And to me, that helps our friendship because at least I know, like, if you call me, we can pray over things. Okay. There are people that, as I mentioned, you have to categorize your friends. There are the ones that are there for social. There are the ones that you know when you're in the thick thing of just call them for if they cannot do anything for you, at least let me just pray for you, if anything. So, and one of the key things you must avoid, oh, please, I beg you, in the name of Jesus that made heaven and earth, or God that made heaven and earth, gossip friends. Don't make your friends out of gossip. And please, if you think you know what I'm talking about, please just give me motivation, okay? Because I'm ending this video. Just say yes, click like if you like this video. Don't make your friends out of gossip because you people are gossiping about a person. You think this person is your friend. Unto where? Trust me, as if people just are finishing that gossip, your story is coming up to that in that conversation. You become the next victim of gossip. Okay, so don't make your friends out of bad intentions. Okay, that's one of the ways you should. And equally try and avoid toxic relationship at all costs because your mental health is important. Okay, toxic relationship. I mean, uh, I don't know. I've talked about them before. You know what toxic relationship means. It's like I don't know how to describe it. You know yourself, but equally, the fact that your friend has issues doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just that perhaps they need help. And I've been hearing about someone saying, like, oh, do not make friends with people that compete with you or jealous of you. I don't know. I don't know if anyone has that issue, but I'm just saying, if anyone is competing with you, if I can end on this terms of deciding friendship, it's just because they don't know what they're doing with their own life. Don't take it from a negative perspective. Just take it as these people need help to figure out their own life. Because if someone is so focused on competing at every level with you in life, let's say you decided to get a new sofa, they went and got the same sofa. You decided to get a, I don't know, you decided to get a new job without any good reason, they go and get it. It's not because they are competing with you. The truth is that they don't know themselves by themselves. Okay, there's a difference between healthy competition. I think life is about competition, anyways. There's healthy competition and there is unhealthy one. But the unhealthy one is just because they don't know what they are doing for themselves. Sometimes you can help these people, sometimes you can't. Okay. So a friend that is judgmental and critical. Yes. And no. Some people are prone to judgment. Some people are prone to judging you. That's the truth. You know, there are some people, before you say, this water tastes like, I like this water, I'd be like, this water, it tastes really bad though. Before you know, it's just not the truth. I'm saying yes and no. Is yes. If someone is always condemning you for every act, you will feel insecure, you will feel anxiety. But if a person, you know the person, in fact, I will leave this thing now. Okay, this is my little player here. And I'll say, oh, this is mine. The first thing that they'll be like, I don't like this color. This is not your color. What is this color? This color is so boring. Is this okay? One is to think of why would they be saying this? Is this part of their personality? Because there are some things that are just people's personality. You just drink before you even say this is water. They'll start telling you the history of that water and why they don't like the water and how this water is not befitting to you. I'm sorry, there are some people that are like that. The reason is I'm saying you need to be sure whether it's actually out of jealousy or judgment that they're doing it is because sometimes people are actually born like, critical. Honestly, people are just critical by nature. There are some people that are just critical by nature, and if we are not careful, we can misjudge their character and misplace their intention. So there are people that are like that. So critical in what perspective? Is it constructive perspective or unconstructive perspective? But we need to be careful of those ones. And then the last thing I would say, avoid friend enemies. Oh, please, I'll tell this one. Avoid friend enemies. How do you say friend enemy or friend enemy? How do you say friend enemy? Avoid these people. Hi. Omo, these people have dealt with me. Evil manipulative spirits. Oh, hey, I'm not even going to start. Avoid evil manipulative spirits in friendship, in a friend. Once you discover that your friend has that, oh yeah, just be taking steps. Eh? Help yourself out. Don't end that friendship like that, oh, because it may come against you in a negative form. But once you know evil manipulative spirits, how do you know this? Your spirit will tell you. Okay. There is a place that there is a place for criticism and judgment if it's constructive. Yes, 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 yes. There is a place for that. That's what I'm saying. You need to discern when are they criticizing, what is the criticism for. I don't know if you know what I mean. You just need to know yourself. You are in that relationship, so you would know the person and you know the reason why. But if I can focus on these evil manipulative people, you need to avoid them at all costs as a plague, honestly. Because how do you know an evil manipulator? They are so good at they're good at observing. In fact, they are good at journaling your life and every steps that you will do. And they equally know how to connive with others against you. I'm trying to find a place in the Bible that helps to speak about these people. Let's say Judas. I'm sorry, he's a good example. Okay, Judas is a good example. He studied everything that Jesus. He was busy listening. He was present. Okay, with Jesus, but he was the one that betrayed Jesus, regardless of whether it was written or not written. I'm just saying in real life, this person took time, listened. If you notice in all the things that we written in the Bible, he was never the one that raised his hand and said, Jesus, I will go. No. But he was the one that had to compete with Jesus in terms of dipping his hand in the same food, or not in the same food, at the same time that Jesus was about to eat. And Jesus told you, this is the person that will betray me. Do you know what I mean? So Jesus was very intelligent too. He was also watching everything. Okay. But if you notice at the hour of betrayal or the period of the betrayal, God will unveil these people to you as time goes on. So it's important that you discern that evil manipulative spirit because they will connive with others against you. In fact, you start asking yourself, what did I do to this person, to this person, to this person? Evil manipulative spirits. Avoid them at all costs. Okay, please. So that's one of the key things that you need to be fair. What's it say? But surely red flags will be hinting the yeah. And I think that's one of the things that we all ignore. We ignore the red flags and give excuses. I do the same. Listen, I'm the person that will give you excuses for every behavior that you do. But what I've learned this year is to listen to the voice within me, the voice of the Holy Spirit that tells me, Ogechi, you need to watch out for this person. Because whenever I've ignored that voice, it has come back to bite me in a very negative way. And I've been the one crying. Okay. So another thing I'll say, if a friend doesn't tell you what you did to them, what they like, depending on the level of friendship, there are people that you actually have to talk to about anything. You just end that relationship. It's like there's nothing depth, there's no depth to that friendship. You just pack and go. It's just there's what conversation are you having? You aren't even that close to the beginning anyway, so you can just phase out. Okay. um but there are ones that you owe explanations to. So for me, it's important that you have conversations. Communication is key to any relationship. So it's important that you have conversation with the person so that you can discover mutual grounds or things that has happened. Because I think it's equal. A person will be equally a fake friend if you actually do not allow this person to know what is going on in you before you end that friendship. To me, that is actually a form of mental abuse. Honestly. Okay, if you keep quiet and keep putting things in, keep things in, keep things in, and then you never say anything and you end something, do you know kind of mental confusion that will cause to the other person? Okay, so I'm all about communicating what is there. It's like in a relationship, any form of relationship, you must communicate, bring issues to light if you want to bring issues to light. I would like to think it's not every issue that you have to speak about. One of the key things I'll say avoid is that person that whenever you want to bring up anything, they're always telling you what you did against them. That's when you know. See, if you talk about critical, like you're always telling you what you did against them, never what they did against you. And so that kind of one-sided way, back and go. Okay, because one, you will find it difficult to know whether how to please these people, whether you are pleasing these people, because we are there to be satisfied in relationship of such. So if someone is always making you feel like you're doing something wrong every single time and not telling you the things that you're doing right, that's not helpful. There has to be a balance to all these things. So that's one of the key things I wanted to say here is one, my key advice is to learn to discern friendship so that you do not destroy the ones that God has created for you. Honestly, can I tell you people, considering the field of work I work, even knowing the people that I've known in life, one of the key things that kills people is lack of friendship. You may think you have your family, you have other people, but you need to escape from your family at times to have other people to talk to. Jesus had his family now. He had cousins. But no, he still found the need, the reason to build relationship with other people. And guess what? These are the people that stuck by him. What was the family? Do you understand? So it's important to build relationship, build a better relationship. And that's my key. Build better relationship with people. But for those that you notice that this is not going to work, uh, just 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 say bye-bye. just just end it. End it on a good note. No, don't end anything on a bad note because it will haunt you for the rest of your life. If you end things on a good note, you know that thing is concluded, done and dusted. You move on. To me, there are key things that people can do in friendship that will make me end that straight away. I'm not going to share it here, but you must have your own deal breakers in friendship. If you don't have a deal breaker, then you don't have a boundary. Because I think every friendship must have a boundary. If you, I've seen some people where on social media, they're always cussing out on each other and they say they are best friends. That thing still worries me. How can you be every single time like derogating one another in friends, in like in on openly, and say this is how you people, that's what I call toxic relationship. That is like verbal abuse in friendship. Okay. So all the things abuse that we talk about that happens in relationship, like boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, those type of relationship. All of them happen in friendship relationship. Oh. So don't be confused about it. All these things happen. Financial abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, intellectual abuse. Okay. So what else? There are plenty of them. So everything in friendship revolves around relationship. Build better relationship. Do not keep destroying the relationship that you have. Please, it's difficult to make friends after a certain year in your life. I tell the young people that I work with this, it is difficult to make friends after a certain year. This is one reason why I advocate to start young, to learn that social skill, because a friend helps you to maintain a good level of social skill. Okay, social skills are important in life. So it is difficult at a particular, I say like maybe after 30 years old, after university, okay, it becomes more difficult to start this relationship because you in places of let's say employment, in other places of things, you may make friends with people. For some people, you can make close friends actually work depending on how long you stay there or what relationship you build with someone from there. But I think it's important to know that there comes a certain stage that relationship goes, because everyone at that point is focusing on their own life. If they have built their own friends, so they've done their own thing. It's like going into school late. When you go into school late, like for me, I came into school when everyone else has formed their relationship. So it was quite difficult to form relationship. So going out to go attend college was a very important step for my life because that's where I actually built my key friends, at least till today. So honestly, yeah. So it's because you're coming at a late stage when people have already formed their groups and things like that. So what you're doing is just adding and joining. So you don't want to be an addition to a friendship. And the thing I would say also, know the position that you play in friends. You must not play the head every single time. I think that's one of the things that people have issues with. Play your position. In football, everyone plays their position. In friendship, play your position well. Play your position. Did I say it? You have a position in a friend's life. Okay? Play your position. Disciples of Jesus had positions. Each of them, okay, think of it. He had three core people that he brought closer out of the three, what is it, 3 to 4 out of the 12 disciples. Does it mean that he didn't like the other ones? He still liked them, but there was a position. And he made Simon being the closest one. So play your position. One of the issues that comes in friendship when you leave your position and start playing another person's position. This is why I like in any relationship, it's good to have roles because at least you know how to discharge your responsibilities appropriately. And you know the type of friend that you are to this person. Okay. It's not a conversation that you necessarily have to have, but it's something that you would feel. But perhaps it's good to have that conversation. How about forgiveness of friends that is not good so everyone can move on? Yeah. Why not? Why can't you forgive people? Like literally, yeah, forgive people if they hurt you. When you're forgiving people, you're helping yourself, not necessarily just them. Just forgive them and move on. But one of the things I would say, please don't make a friend who only have you as a friend. I don't know if I'm making it right. If they only have you as a friend, there's an issue here. There is an issue. Why? Because how can it be that someone cannot make another person a friend, no matter if they're not close to that person? That comes, there's this word that I've been studying a lot. Narcissistic behavior. Please, if I pronounce it wrong, forgive me. You attract people like that if you're actually a lone friend. Because if you have friends outside of friends, it helps to balance things out. Because then it's not just you that they are drawing everything close to, but at least they have other people to rely on in times of needs. So you don't feel that you have to drop everything every single time. There are other people there to support. Thank you. You had see, you know English. You know English, okay? Please, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and like this video if you like it. So that behavior, you need to be careful. See, this person that feels like we should be together, it's only yours. It's only yours. Back and go. Any relationship like that is actually toxic, because when they're about to kill you, kill you doesn't mean they have to physically kill you, mentally destroy you. Any part of killing is one, they will take out everyone that is competition to them. Okay, they will make it seem like, in fact, they're good at gaslighting you as well. Do you understand? They will take out everyone around you. This is like almost like serial killer. I'm sorry, I'm just being like dramatic, but some of them can become serial killer, right? They'll be smiling, no, and they'll still make themselves look like as if they're the nice ones in this life. When you're the one suffering, they're suffering. Okay, they'll take out everyone, and then they'll hone you in, and before you know it, it's just the two of you. And then when you have issues, you find it difficult to remember the people that you have to go to, because by that time they've finished with you, they've destroyed the relationship that you have with others. That's the kind of people you need to really avoid. These people, you do need to avoid Jesus, narcissistic, stick. Listen, narcissism, narcissistic behavior. Hey, English. English. Okay. Avoid friends like that, please. People that will suck your blood or suck other relationship out of you, and making them seem like they are the bad ones and they are the good ones. If you know how to avoid them, oh yeah, in fact, take your two left leg, not even just right. Run. Okay, energy vampires drain your energy. Yes. And some friends are energy vampires, oh. No lie. In fact, when you call them, this is not when they are going through stuff. There are different when people are going through stuff. You have to support them. Then every time you call them, they're like, "Oh, this happened, this happened." But I'm just saying, if you reflect over the years of your life of these friends with this person, and every time you call them, there is always something. There is always something. There is always something that you have to go to support. My dear, there is called Samaritans. Samaritans. Because you have to regulate yourself. Please, the reason why I say this, because I'm over the year, especially this year, I really had to reflect on how much information I give to my sister, or how much I run to my sister for help, or my mother. And the reason why I say that, because I remember one day my spirit said to me, do you actually think of how much mentally they're taking in? And also I had to stop speaking to friends about some certain things, because I had to think to myself, like, how much the information I'm giving them, how are they receiving this? How is it affecting them emotionally? Okay. So it's really important to know that, to be aware of that. Okay. I'll be ending this in next 5 minutes, but it's really important to note how much information you are giving to someone. And I find it quite honestly interesting where people share some, like things that you need to be like just quiet, intimate things with their friends about, like their partners or spouse. Even like if my friend is doing that, I'll just like cut off that conversation. I don't want to know. No, actually, thank God I have no friend that does key things like that. But why do I want to know what goes under the cover in detail. I think that is really bad in friendship. And you should not be doing this because information that you give out, no, I said the world knows you by the story you tell. The information that you give out is what will be used against you. Oh yeah, okay, to preach. The information that you give out is what will be used against you. Oh yeah, preach again. The information that you give out is what will be used against you. So you need to be wise on the type of information you share with your friends, no matter how close you guys are, unless you're seeking for help. Like, for example, I've seen therapy groups where people go and say, my husband is not performing well, this, or my wife is not performing well. You're seeking for advice. Uh, at least that one is there publicly. You're seeking for help. That's different. And then they will give you, that's different. We are talking about, there's levels to this revealing of information. So there are some things that you just have to be quiet about and not have to tell other people. Because what you forget is that our mind is a sponge, because it soaks up everything. We don't forget. And I remember why I say this is because there is my head, not the one that did this, but my usual hairdresser or hair braider to say. She said to me, she's married, and she told me, gave me one key advice. She says, when you marry Ogechi, if you have issues with anyone, I'm sorry, I'm going off a little bit about French, but I think this key also applies in friendship. But she said, if you have any issue with your husband, it's, you need to think carefully before you speak out. It's not everything that you share. So just sit down, kneel down, pray to the Holy Spirit about it. Don't tell people. And she said, even your family members, even if your mother, don't tell. And she said to me, here is the reason. You may move on. You may forgive your husband and you guys become all lovey and dovey again. But your family members have not forgotten. And if anything is to happen, they will bring back history for you. Not necessarily in a negative way, but the way they will see that person is not the same. Okay? So you need to be careful. I'm not saying if they're beating you, killing you, in fact, emotionally abusing you in any form of way, you don't say anything. But there are certain informations that you also need to, first of all, pray. She said, just pray to God about everything. Let him, because at the end of the day, he's the only one that changes people. And lastly, as I mentioned, have a friend that has another friend. But importantly, as any relationship, you must have a friend that has a person that they can listen to. So that if you do have issue with this friend and you cannot resolve it between just the two of you, you can go to that person to ask for help. The person must have a counselor, an advisor. Okay? If a friend doesn't have another advisor, please forget about Holy Spirit uses people to talk. Okay? So if the friend doesn't have another advisor, you need to be careful, because then it becomes difficult if you do have issues or challenging issues within that relationship to to speak out to someone and ask for help. So a friend must have another advisor. Remember, okay? So even Jesus in his time, remember, he didn't want to do something, but his mother was his advisor. Said, you disciples, forget this person, do it. And their advisor is someone that influences them. I keep saying lastly, but I'll end here because it's 1 hour. I didn't even plan for it 1 hour, but because the conversation has been very good, thanks for actually contributing to the live chat. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. When the Sappers information that you give out will be used against you. Yeah, it will be used against you. Yes, I said it. Or it could be used for you. So yeah, actually, also add that it could be used for you as well. It depends on what information you give out. Okay. But yeah, just know that the world knows you by the story that you tell. I'm learning it. because I'm the one that, talking. I said, I talk. I'm learning to rein back in. But lastly, please, if you don't take anything from this advice, take this one. Do not befriend with unteachable spirits or friend that you cannot influence. This is my key advice as well in this video, as well as other advice I give. Do not be friends with unteachable spirits. Let me repeat it again. Do not befriend or be a friend to an unteachable spirit, because they lead you to the path of destruction. Do not befriend with someone that you cannot influence in any way. Do not befriend with someone that you cannot influence in any way. Be it positively, be it negatively. That's not even friendship. Why are you there? They cannot take your advice, or they'll pretend to take your advice but never put it to action. I'm not saying every advice you give that they should take, but I'm just saying sometimes you know the level of influence you have on a person if they actually take what you say. Okay, there are people that are just their information gatherers and they use it against you. And there are people that you cannot tell anything or say, stop doing this, and then they don't listen, or they find another way to implement what they are doing. Okay? Do not befriend with an unteachable spirit. An unteachable spirit is a spirit that doesn't listen, doesn't obey, doesn't act. Unteachable spirits, especially in relationship, even intimate relationship, is one of the worst things that you can have, because they don't listen to other people. Even Pharaoh is even better than them. You know, the Pharaoh that took the Israelites to slavery. Because at least God had to harden his heart for him he had to let go. But even for some people like that even worse than Pharaoh, that even after God does everything that he does to them, their heart is still like stone. They will not listen. Going into the year 2021, avoid all unteachable spirits at all costs. Unteachable spirits, friends that you cannot influence, avoid them. Yeah, many people have been hurt by friends. I agree with you, Sia. Many people have been hurt by others, and then they project that hurt onto others. And this is why, if you doubt me, just type anything about fake friends. You see plenty videos on this friend did it to me. Even family members did it to me. I'm like, are you going to give people actually opportunity to improve on their weakness? If you want to be accepted for your weakness, you must also accept other people's weaknesses. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. So unteachable spirit is one of the key things I said. Don't be friends with. I don't know how to describe it, but you can Google for yourself what is an unteachable spirit. Unteachable spirit is the worst spirit that you can actually be friends with, be in relationship with, in fact, be around you. Okay? And don't be friends. The unteachable spirits also include, in the parable of, there is a parable where two sons were asked to do something. One said, I'm not going to do it, but later did it. And then the other said, I'm going to do it, and don't do it. That's a sign of a friend that you cannot influence. That is a person that you cannot influence. Because, okay, the other person said, I'm not doing it, but perhaps the Holy Spirit spoke to that person's mind and they later change their mind. But then you've got those ones that are, yeah, I will do it. Oh, is it that I would totally do it? No, lying spirits like that, don't. There are levels to lies in this life. I can't relate. But lying spirits, oh yeah, just believe it. Lying spirits, unnecessary lying spirits. Anyways, be friends with people that you know to be friends with. People that, to me, I'll say, look at the qualities that you have, as Jesus showed us. Look at the qualities that you have. Look at the qualities you want from a friend. Pursue that form of friendship. If you don't want to have a lying friend, don't be a liar. Because if you're a liar, you don't even know how you did it. You just attracted the lying friends. Okay, don't be it. Because if indirect bullies, don't be with them. Anyways, just unteachable spirits have a way of just destroying your life. Friends that you cannot influence is a person that cannot listen to you. Why are you even that friendship? I'm learning it. Honestly, if I know that you don't listen to anything that I say, or you don't, that's fine. That doesn't mean that I have to unfriend you. Just saying that perhaps it's good to review where I lie in your life. Okay. um, or the ones that you share everything with, they never share anything with you. It's just important to review those levels of relationship. I've talked enough. I'm going to sleep. Okay, I'm watching TV because I've already slept. Okay, so I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And friendship involves a bit of people pleasing. Yeah, you have to please your friend. What are you there for? I told you Jesus did that. Sorry. Jesus did that. He pleased the disciples by his performance. He impressed them. The disciples also impressed him. So there is a give and take. You can't just, if you don't have the qualities to attract, what are you attracting? You attract anything and everything. So you must hone on your own qualities and attract the qualities that you want to be in friendship with, and not be friends with anyone that just pops out of the thing. Remember, Jesus was not friends with the crowd. He selected his friends. Others came along, okay, through referrals, but he still selected his key ones that he always took with him, even in the Garden of Gethsemane. Think of it. Honestly, I love reflecting on the life of Jesus on earth, because I feel if we all do this, we will be in a better situation to actually know how to live this life in a more fulfilling way. Because to me, he's such a great role model, okay, in every aspect of our lives. So that's my advice. And on that note, thank you for all you guys that have stuck with me throughout and contributed to the chat. Ogo Obi Gibson, you are a star. CA, you are a star. Oh yeah, I mentioned about the unequal yoke. So you have to be friends with but yeah, yeah, you need to know they have to have a sort of an equal yoke to you, either in terms of your belief or in terms of other things that matters to you. So thank you guys for watching. And on this note, I end this live stream. And good night. Take care. Bye.